Real African stories, real African experiences. This is the Legally Clueless video series, proudly powered by Guinness Black Shine's Brightest. Stay tuned to the end to find out more. And in this episode, Mimo shares her journey to becoming one of Kenya's top TikTokers.
Hi, my name is Mimo Karanja. I am a content creator as well as a TV host, and I hail from Kenya. As a kid, I think every African kid, we were taught like being a lawyer is the big thing, or a doctor and everything. And I really loved kids till today. So at some point when I was growing up, I thought I'd be, like a pediatrician, a kid's doctor. But the older I became, the more I became aware of my strengths. And I was always the comic, like in the classroom. I'll make people laugh. And even till today, my aunties describe me as a very talkative kid because I used to talk around class, noise making. I'm almost treated like a noisemaker even when I'm absent because I'm always talking. Even when I come home, like it's just the environment changes because I used to sing, talk. I'll tell you my day, how it went from A to Z. And all the songs we sang and everything. So I was always, talkative and very funny. People described me as funny. And I think the older I grew, the more I became aware of this. People loved it. People enjoyed when I told stories. Like I remember in high school, people, when you're told, choose two people who will go for the funky in this class, they'll pick me. Because they know I'll come and tell you the story from how we boarded the bus, left the school, what the watchman did, waved through us by, what this boy did, every single detail. I'll narrate it in a funny way, in detail. So people enjoyed it. So that has been like, it's inborn. But I think I used to say I would be a doctor just for the sake of it. By the time I was like in class 4 and I was now aware of my, surrounding, your strengths, I was watching a lot of TV. And by that time, I think we all used to think to be on TV, you have to be a newscaster, like an anchor, I mean. We didn't think of an entertainment host, all these other things that are in media. So I remember I used to say I want to be a news anchor. Like, oh, Mimo, what will you be when you grow up? A news anchor, period. And then because of Sophie Kenya, that woman, I used to watch her read news and she used to inspire me a lot. And I used to see myself in her when I grew up. So I wanted to be a newscaster, like ever since I was in class 4. And the older I grew, it didn't change. Like I knew I wanted to be just in front of the camera. But at that time, to be in front of the camera, I used to think it's just reading news. But now with time, you come to realize, actually, I'm better in entertainment, not even news. I can't stand news per se. But I became aware that I'm good and I'm funny. So entertainment is the way to go for me. When I was in high school, at that time, there was this buzz that Daystar is the best school in media studies. So even like when I was studying in high school, I didn't study to go like to another university. I knew I wanted to get a grade specifically to take me to Daystar. And I got the exact grade I needed to take me to Daystar. And I think at this time, I was still not aware of it. I wasn't aware that I would want to be an entertainment host. I was still, reading news in the campus radio station, doing news. I'll do a few shows. But the minute there's this show I did and I didn't like it, I was like, no. Reading news, reporting, no, it's not my thing. But then I got a dating show. And I really enjoyed my time there because it's more entertaining. Because again, the campus radio is a Christian radio station because Daystar is a Christian university. So there was a bit of limitations when it came to the topics you can discuss and all that. But the Dating 101 show was a little bit more freeing, more engaging. So I loved it there more than looking for voice pops for news. It was so stressful. So till today, another day, my friend sent me like a job that is going around vacancy for a reporter. And I was like, girl, kwani unijui? Kwani beshte yangu kweli? Me, I'm not doing this anymore. I can't be a reporter. So I think the more I practiced it for a while, and it was just like, no. And let me just add this story. Before I even finished uni, I got a job in a media house. So I was going for a long break, those long holidays. And then I was like, this break is so long. I need to get something to do. So nikaanza kutafuta jobo online. I got someone Facebook who recommended this job for me. They were looking for a video editor for something like a month or so because they were relieving people who were going for a honeymoon. 2 colleagues got married, so they wanted people to fill their space. And I go for the interview. First and foremost, I used to enjoy editing, but I wasn't that good. So after I was done with the interview, I was like, I don't think it's me they're gonna pick. Because when you see the pile of CVs and you just place yours here and you're like, this one tomorrow is what itafungia watu nyama yangu yeze. I can't be picked. I don't know, by the grace of God, I was picked. And there was this guy called Shem who helped me now learn more about editing. Shout out to you, Shem. And so I did that job for almost 3 years. And let me tell you, when I started, because it was like I started off like a temporary thing, and then they liked my job, I don't know, and they kept me now permanently. And I worked there for 3 months. At the beginning, it was really fun because, hey, I've gotten a job after hata sijamaliza university, and I already have a job in a media house. It was the leading media house in the Kikuyu industry, Njata TV. I worked there as a video editor. I used to have the best, I'm not even done with uni. I already have a job. I have a salary. You guys, who is flying like me? Yeah. And then people, okay, this is down there bad, but people are really struggling even to get internships. Here I am already with a job. I don't have to look for internships, so everything was working for me. But with time, that got so boring. Like that job, no, it used to be like a nightmare for me to wake up in the morning. Like even my mom will see it. I was always complaining about the job because now I think I was just doing it because, ukimaliza uni, adulthood, you need to work. And it just didn't work for me. And I remember in the middle of doing that job, there was a show that became vacant, an urban entertainment show. Mimi mo, nilijijaza, walked to the boss's office and I was like, I think I can do this show. I am well informed. And thank God I also was doing a bit of social media. So he knew my capabilities in knowing what is happening. So I was like, and this show needs exactly that. And I can do it. I'm a good presenter. And it's like, how is your Kikuyu? I'm like, hey, mine is good. And I went and started presenting. Now there is when I found joy in that job, like in that, being in that media house. And it didn't last long. The minute they took that away, it was a nightmare again. Video editing, I didn't enjoy it. Like being in I think the 4 walls was not working for me. And so when I lost my job, that job, I lost it when COVID hit and we were sent home. Sunday, Gioni, you're written, check your email, you check your email, the letter says, don't come to work tomorrow. And so imagine deep down, I was kind of happy. Because I didn't want to quit this job. First and foremost, I felt like I was going to be a disappointment to my parents. And because, you have a good job, stick to it. Plus, I didn't want to quit without a plan. Get another better job or something. So when it happened, this is not my fault. Tumembo tukae home. It's not me, it's the pandemic. So a part of me, let me say like 90% of me was very happy. Of course, 10% I was scared. What's next? What is going to happen? Will I ever get another job? 90% I was happy because I was like, finally, I get to do what I have always wanted to do. And now that's when I became more consistent with content creation. Even when I was in uni around 3rd year, that's when I joined TikTok. By then, it was known as Musical.ly. And I remember, I don't know, let me say, I was a late bloomer when it came to social media. I was always the last one to join Instagram, the last one to join Facebook, the last one to join everything. But for Musical.ly, I think I was the first one. I was the first one to join because I was on social media. And then I see a video posted by Ida Alicia. Ida Alicia is the one most of you know as Olive from Mother-in-Law. And she has posted a video. And it was so cool. I remember I was like, hey, this video, which app is this? So there was that tag. You see, like even TikTok has like TikTok. I was like, Musical.ly. The following day, Wi-Fi hotspot in the school, downloaded the app, and I started, teaching myself how to do it. So even before I was done with uni, I was already doing content creation here and there, lightly, but I wasn't serious into it because at the end of the day, that time, content content creation was not as big as now, and it didn't have money, then there was nothing. It was just a hobby. Let me say, it was just a hobby for me. So I used to do videos, post them on Instagram, and I remember my 300 followers then were so happy. And hizo video zako za musical ziunimaliza. And I was like, okay, yeah, hobby. And so many people told me, join YouTube, start YouTube. I was like, I'm not ready. And again, because I did media in school, I felt like the quality was not it. For, when you do media, there are those nitty-gritties. I was like, the quality is not it. I'm not yet there, because I thought I'll join YouTube and have all this sort of lighting and all that kind of stuff. So I took my time. And I think there are so many signs telling me you should be doing content creation. Because there's this one time, a friend, let me say just a schoolmate of mine, got a project during their last semester. And the project was, you have to have a segment of a vlog inside your whole show. That's something for media students. So she was like, Mimo, so you do this segment for me. I was like, mbona mimi, will you just do it? Si lazima ikuwe poa hivyo, you just do it. I do it, and it was discussed in the classroom. And the teacher was like, don't tell me this girl is not, she must be a vlogger already. And she was like, no, she's just my schoolmate. She had to tetea herself, because the teacher wanted amateur video, and it looked so professional. But still, I was deaf. I did not take it seriously. For me, it was a hobby. So when I got the job during my last year of uni. I was like, hey, now adulting is here. Content creation, hobby, what are those? Backbench. So I wasn't consistent when it came to creating content anymore. I'll do a video maybe once 6 months. Sijui how long after, so many months would go without me creating content. But I became unhappy as time went by, because I always felt like, I should be doing content. I'll watch so many YouTube videos at work whenever I didn't have anything to do. YouTube videos, those days I'd watched everything on YouTube. I was on Musical.ly watching other people, and I was like, oh my God, I wish I had time. Because something people don't tell you is media is very engaging. You barely have time for yourself, for your family, for your friends. It's always work. So I didn't have a lot of time to create content. So it was like a by the way until 2019. When I got one day, just randomly, a pop-up from TikTok, we would want you to be part of our creators group. And I was like, hata siko consistent, so as in, and they've seen me. Hey, that pumped me up. I was like, yes, include me, add me. Hey, this chat is mine. I'm taking over. And that time I think I had 300 followers on TikTok. I was so excited, but that did something to me. And then they did the first TikTok event in Kenya, and I got invited. Gas me again. I was like, hey, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. That was towards the end of 2019. And I think also it's important, surround yourself with, as a content creator, it's important to surround yourself with people who understand and see your abilities and cheer you on. At that particular time, I had someone in my life who kept telling me, si ukwiti job uanze YouTube. Si ukwiti job uanze YouTube. But I was like, Siezi, I don't have another plan. What if it doesn't work? And all this. But that person believed in me. Whenever I would take a long period without doing a video and posting it on Instagram, they'd be like, Madam, where's the video? We've missed your videos. Do this video. So I also think all that just was accumulating inside me pole pole. And then when pandemic came, now it was my opportunity to shine. Now I'm creating content. Every day I wake up with my car. I didn't even have a stand. My phone is poor quality. You try lighting up the room with, unashikilia simu with books and clothes, piling up things just to hold your phone so that you can be able to shoot content. And that's how I started. And years later, here we are. So... And now you've lost your job, here you are doing content. You think content is going to pick up tomorrow? Internet is not your mother, please. I did so many videos, poor quality. And when my video would hit 2K, mini celeb, call Felicia. We need to control the paparazzi in New York. But my videos were not blowing up. But I think what I was doing is, in as much it was sometimes it will be discouraging, but remember I was doing this as a hobby at that time. So it was fun, plus there's nothing to do during the pandemic. So somehow it didn't get to me, but sometimes you'll sit down and wonder, will this ever pick up? Surely. You get even, let's say, 200 views and you think, oh my God, will this ever pick up? But I kept doing it. And one thing I think that worked for me at that time, before I even started the TBT videos, I used to do videos about the Nairobi girl dating scene. So I'll do like when a Nairobi girl meets a Mubaba, those sounds, they just used to appear on my TikTok, and I'll do them and nail them. So those ones, I built a very strong fan base because people used to enjoy those videos. They were like, hey, wewe msichana wa Nairobi, you know how this goes. But I was actually just riding on the narrative that is there. Oh, well, slay queens, na wababa. I'll ride on that narrative and do videos. So for the longest time, none of my videos were blowing up. But the minute I got into this line, there was now slowly we were going up. And I think now it has become a whole thing. So many people do that. Slay queen, Nairobi girl, wababas on TikTok. Hawajui kuna kasichana kalianza somewhere 2020, struggling to get 2 views, na views zote mbili ni zangu. It's me, and then going back to check who has watched. So I think that Nairobi girl thing really picked up during the pandemic time. When you're doing content creation, there are years of tamaking. I think that's something maybe people are not told enough. And remember, I told you when I was starting to think about getting into content creation, I did a lot of research. Like I listened to other content creators, what they're saying, their advice, how to start a YouTube channel. I watched all of those. And I remember there was this one content creator who said, when you start the content creator journey, give yourself 2 years of tamaking on social media before anyone realizes you, knows you, before you get any brand deal. And thank God for that statement, because that encouraged me. Miaka mbili bado hazijaisha. I was counting those 2 years. I was counting those 2 years. Miaka mbili bado hazijaisha. So I thought I was still on the right track, and the numbers kept on growing. And another thing is, even during this pandemic, now after pandemic was starting to, like we are getting normal, back to our normal lives during the pandemic, I was still looking for other jobs, because remember, this is not paying me. What am I going to eat? You just can't sit this in the house. You're asking for everything. You're asking for pads. You're asking, like, this has reminded me, during the pandemic, you see those loyalty cards, they're called royalty for the supermarket. I redeemed them to the last point. I was just pads and all, because you can't ask for everything. In as much your family is supporting you, they're giving you everything. There are things you just can't go asking for. So I was looking for odd jobs. Me, I was a broker during that pandemic, because there's this job I had done kitambo during another long holiday in the Ministry of Lands. So I was a bit aware about land documents and all that. So I found myself now, you want a title? I'm your guy, eh? Siulete. And then now I had someone who is a lawyer who would give me those jobs here and there. So I did that. I remember getting another job in a parastatal, filing job. Like, you just do everything to make ends meet, because at least when a 10K yako and you don't have to ask for everything. And then at the beginning of 2021, I got a job in a church. Now, 2021, I was like, this is going to be my year. One day I'm just sitting, I have no job, I'm just chilling. We're starting the year with big hopes, but nothing in the pocket, nothing. And there's nothing. I get a phone call, and this person, before I reveal who it was, they were like, oh, I need a video editor. I've gotten your number from so-and-so, my former colleagues. And I was like, yeah, what's your name? And they say, my name is Wanderi. They didn't introduce themselves with any name to give you who they are. And the more we continue talking, it just said to me, oh my God, this is a bishop, like a big bishop in like Central Mount Kenya. People know this bishop. And they was like, oh, this is Bishop so-and-so. And I was like, hey, ukianza mwaka na bishop amekupigia, hiyo mwaka inaweza vibaya kweli. Like, what are the odds? A whole bishop calling me. So I took up the job. Again, there's nothing. I had not gotten brand deals. This is 2021 at the beginning. No brand deals, no nothing. It wasn't paying. So I took this job. It was paying kidogo. It was very conveniently close to home. But this was the best, I don't know, the best decision I did. Because in this church, first and foremost, there was just after leaving the media house. Media houses can be toxic to the core. But this place was so peaceful. As in, you just know, and you're in the presence of God. It was so peaceful. That's when I started like even adding weight, because I was so much, in as much I wasn't enjoying what I do, because this bado editing thing was, it was a struggle. I was struggling, and I was really doing a good job. He really loved my work, but I was still not enjoying it. But I still have to do it because my moon is I have nothing. And I kept doing this job. And that job, I think I stayed there because first and foremost of the peace that I was getting. It was a very good environment. And every week, because we were recording preachings, it's like this bishop was getting a Mwakenya of what I'm going through in my life. Like he'd speak to me and that will lift my spirit. And my time there, like after a few weeks, now you've gotten the word, you're pumped for this year. I'm not even joking. Every month, a video would go, like every week, a video of mine would go viral. Niko Mpasho, Pulse, everywhere. People are posting you every single week. I think it's because I was working in the house of the Lord. I was a child of the Most High. Every week, a video of mine was going viral. So it got to a place I could not manage both sides of content creation and working in this church. And now when I was still doing these videos are blowing up, now you're getting kidogo gigs. So I was like, I'm sorry, Bishop, but I have to quit. He didn't believe it. He was like, if things go wrong, anytime come back. He still calls me till today. Like, wait, Remo, you don't feel like coming back to work for me? And I think I did a good job. So I think that period I did everything, odd jobs. Every odd job I did, but eventually I think in 2021, things started opening up. So I think in as much you're doing content creation, I think I'll tell you this, the same thing I had, give yourself time to tarmac on social media. Don't think, very few people, they post their first video, they blow up, they get brand deals. It takes time for so many people. So don't just join thinking, kesho mimi ni bola, things will be working out, brand deals. It does not work like that here. But at the beginning, as I said, when I used to get 2 views, 100 views, sometimes am I even good at this? Will I ever omoka? These numbers are not giving, but I've realized the more you continue doing what you love, you see, at the end of the day, this is what you love. It's not something you're doing it for money like I used to do it. It's not something I'm doing it just because. This is something I'm passionate about. And I think when you're passionate about something, you're willing to go through it during the ups and the lows. It's just like a marriage. You're like, I love this person to death. So highs and lows, we are together. Same thing when it comes to content creation. I do not take it personally when a piece of content does not perform. I'm like, if yesterday this one performed well, maybe this one, first and foremost, the logarithms work against me. The Instagram, TikTok, maybe your shadow banned. There are things that are out of your control. But you also have to understand not every piece of content is going to be received the same way. And sometimes it's very hurting. Sometimes you put in money, the effort, you've traveled from here to Timbuktu to shoot content and no one is giving it. But you're like, you know what, I'm doing this for me, for my passion. I love it. Muikubali mkatai, that's your problem. But for me, I enjoyed creating. That's why I make sure I enjoy every piece of content that I'm shooting. If I'm just shooting just for the sake, I won't shoot it. Because I'm like, alafu ikose kuperform utakuwa, hata I wish I knew. Hata afadhali singejisumbua. You'll start beating yourself up. But if you did something that you yourself enjoyed, you know that you did your best, I think sometimes you just don't take it personally. You're like, it's okay, logarithm maybe ziliwork against me. I enjoyed the content personally, so we'll keep on pushing. I think one thing I'm grateful for is, even as I said as a kid, I used to be very talkative. I was out there. I am grateful for the fact that my family has always been supportive. They allow you to be you. Like, they don't try dictating your life, how it's going to go. They're going to give you advice, sure, but they're not going to dictate it. So I remember when I quit my job and I started I'll tell my mom, please don't call me between this and this time. I'm in my room shooting. And she respected that. She didn't, at the beginning, I'll see her struggle. She never questioned me, but I'll see her struggle because for her, if she sees me on the phone, she thinks I'm idle. But in real sense, maybe that's when you're responding to comments, you're doing your research about the next piece of content you're doing. I saw her struggle because that's the time she'll be like, na vyombo hazijao, like, you're not able to kutafutia job because amekuwa on your phone. But she never directly told me, this is not it, this is not going to work. My support system has always been support. Till today, they're like, hey, why are you going for the interview? Do you have a ride? Are you okay? We can support you in any way. Like, my family, ndio support system yangu. My mom, when I'm going for an event, she's like my stylist. I'm like, how does this look? Vai on a white. Iyo ikai poa. She's my stylist. Whenever I am going for gigs at the beginning, especially, and you don't have money to go for these gigs, and they know this is a good opportunity, they'll sponsor you, they'll give you money. And tutakukujia, things like those, and they mean a lot, and they encourage you as a creator. But I think bottom line is, I think my mom did a good job in just creating an environment that allows us to be us, even as kids, allows you to be a kid, allows you to do whatever you want to do. If it fails, that's up to you. Pick yourself up, we continue. But that's something I'm really grateful for. So sometimes I see the borderline of them not really understanding how this is working, but now they do understand, because now at least it's making money. They're like, where? Hata media house na job yako ni hata ufanyi, for them wanafikiria tu ni kurecord video, it's not a lot of work. They're like, and you're making money. Just continue, na kuambia hata upate deal ingine kubwa. I'm like, amen. But it's so nice to have a support system, a family that supports what you do without even understanding exactly what it is you're doing. Yeah. When I look to the future, a successful Mimo is someone who, first and foremost, I won't lie to you, who is living well. Because I think, especially after losing your job, and you've gone through the struggle of not having the lacks and all that, I would want to not have any lacks. But more so as a creative, I would want to create a space for other creators where I understand their struggles. I know first and foremost, like finding a location is hard. I know how it is when you do not even have a stand to shoot on, and how expensive it can be to do production, like profession, when you think of a dope idea, but you only have your phone. I would want to create a space for content creators, affordable, if it's possible, for them to just come. If you're a startup, you can come and use the things that are provided for you to shoot your content. I want to lift other creators, other creatives out there, because also we live in a society that does not really, now is when creatives are starting to be, given that nod, but kitambo it wasn't there. So I understand that struggle of being a creative. No one cares what you do. No one gives you attention. No one cares about your struggles. So we want to provide a space where they know they are catered for, and it's a good for them to just, boost them. It's like that, what is it called? For the car when it stops, the battery. Yeah, to jumpstart them in their content creation journey. So that's something I really look forward to. Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Legally Clueless powered by Guinness. Be sure to check out the new Guinness Black Shine's Brightest Stories show that spotlights some of Kenya's most amazing and bold artists within the food, dance, fashion, and creative arts, showcasing our rich culture and the future of Kenyan art within Africa and beyond. You can catch all these incredible stories right now on the Guinness Kenya YouTube channel. And remember, you can catch all new Legally Clueless podcast episodes every Monday across all podcasting platforms, as well as new Legally Clueless video episodes on Fridays, only right here on the Legally Clueless YouTube channel.